Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Nahmaduhu wa nusalli ala rasulihil kareem. Amma ba'd. Lesson number 20. Verbs Conjugation. Past tense. In this lesson, we will learn verbs conjugations in Arabic. The verb words you will have to memorize in Arabic along with its English meaning, and the verb conjugation rules you will have to understand properly. The memorization of the verb words is to make this lesson easier, and the verb conjugations are rules which you all have to understand properly so that the memorization also becomes easier. Verb conjugation is the process of how verbs are derived from a set of base letters, which base letters are usually three, and how they change in the different tenses to reflect gender, plurality, voice, and other aspects. Verb conjugation is the process of how verbs are derived from a set of base letters and how they change in the different tenses to reflect gender, plurality, voice, and other aspects. When we want to identify the speaker or the person spoken about in grammar, we use first person to mean the speaker, second person to mean the person who is spoken to, and third person to mean the person who is spoken about. These are things which we learned in the previous lesson, personal pronouns. Now, in this page, we will learn about the third person verb conjugation for the past tense. Kataba, he wrote. You can see that kaf, ta, and ba are the base letters for the verb writing. Kataba, he wrote. When we add an alif at the end, it becomes kataba, they both wrote. And when we add a waw and an alif at the end, it becomes katabu, they all wrote. Kataba is for dual and katabu is for plural. The alif in katabu is not read. It is written as per the Arabic grammar. Katabat. When we add a ta sakin at the end, it becomes katabat, which changes the gender from masculine to feminine. Katabat, she wrote. If we add an alif after that ta, it becomes katabata. When we add a alif, the sukun is replaced by a fatha. Katabata. They both wrote. Katabna. When we add a noon maftuh at the end, it becomes katabna. Katabna. When we add the noon maftuh at the end, the letter preceding will be sakin. Like you can see, the letter preceding is ba, it becomes a sakin. It means they all wrote for feminine. Kataba, he wrote. Kataba, they both wrote. Katabu, they all wrote. Katabat, she wrote. Katabata, they both wrote for feminine. And katabna, they all wrote for feminine. Now we will learn about second person verb conjugation. Katabta. When we add a ta maftuh at the end, it becomes katabta. The point to note here is in the second person verb conjugation, the third base letter always gets a sakin. Katabta, you wrote. When we add the ta maftuh, it becomes katabta. From kataba to katabta, you wrote. Katabtuma. When we add a tuma at the end, it becomes katabtuma. You both wrote. And when we add tum, it becomes katabtum. You all wrote. When we add a ta maksur at the end, it becomes katabti. You wrote for feminine. If we add a ta maftuh, it becomes you wrote for masculine. When we add a ta maksur, it becomes you wrote for feminine. Katabtuma, you both wrote. Both masculine and feminine dual in the second person verb conjugation are the same. Katabtunna, when we add tunna at the end, it becomes katabtunna, you all wrote for plural. Katabta, you wrote. Katabtuma, you both wrote. Katabtum, you all wrote. Katabti, you wrote. Katabtuma, you both wrote. Katabtunna, you all wrote. First person verb conjugation. Katabtu and katabna. In first person verb conjugation, also the third base letter has a sakin. When we add a ta mazmum at the end, it becomes katabtu, I wrote. And when we add a na at the end, it becomes katabna, we wrote. The point to note is first person verb conjugations are same for both masculine and feminine. And similarly, they are also same. Katabna is both for dual and plural, for masculine and feminine. So the full chart becomes Kataba, he wrote, Kataba, they both wrote, Katabu, they all wrote, Katabat, she wrote, Katabata, they both wrote, Katabna, they all wrote, Katabta, you wrote, Katabtuma, you both wrote, Katabtum, you all wrote, Katabti, you wrote, Katabtuma, you both wrote, Katabtunna, you all wrote, Katabtu, I wrote, Katabna, we wrote. Now the second verb is Zahaba. He went. And the third verb is Kharaja. He went out. These two verbs are new. You all have to find out what are the conjugations and how the verb word changes in masculine, what how it becomes feminine, how it becomes dual, how it becomes plural, how it changes to second person, how it changes to first person. Zahaba, he went. Zahaba, they both went. Zahabu, they all went. Zahabat, she went. Zahabata, they both went. Zahabna, they all went. Zahabta, you went. Zahabtuma, you both went. Zahabtum, you all went. Zahabti, you went. Zahabtuma, you both went. Zahabtunna, you all went. Zahabtu, I went. Zahabna, we went. Similarly, Kharaja, he went out. Kharaja, they both went out. Kharaju, they all went out. Kharajat, she went out. Kharajata, they both went out. Kharajna, they all went out. Kharajta, you went out. Kharajtuma, you both went out. Kharajtum, you all went out. Kharajti, you went out. Kharajtuma, you both went out. Kharajtunna, you all went out. Kharajtu, I went out. Kharajna, we went out. Hope you all understood the lesson. Subhanallah wa bihamdihi. Subhanaka Allahumma bihamdika. Wa nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta. Astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifun. Wa salamun ala al-mursaleen. Walhamdulillahi rabbil alameen.